creatives on a couch, and we talk about just life and what it means to be an actor, an artist, a painter, a writer, all of those things. So my name's Bianca. I'm an actress and an improviser, and I'm studying at the William Esper Studio along with many of these fine gentlemen on this couch today. And today we're going to be talking about how being a creative kind of influences our love lives and relationships and how that factors in. So why don't we just go around, you guys can all introduce yourselves and tell a little bit about yourselves first.
Sure, I'll start. I'm Aristotle, also an actor studying at William Esper Studio and a fitness model.
I'm Scott. I'm a writer, actor.
I'm Andrew, and I'm an actor.
I'm Tommy. I'm also studying at the William Esper Studio. I am an actor, singer, dancer, and sort of writer, I suppose.
I'm Skel. I'm an actor, writer, comedian, and all sorts of artists.
How does being a creative, an actor, writer, comedian, all sorts of artists over here, influence how you are romantically?
I'll start logistically first before everybody gets romantic. Just scheduling. It's out of control. It's like nobody ever finds time to do anything because everybody's always doing something. Whether it's class, auditions, castings, working on projects like this, it's difficult because if you have a typical job, 9 to 6, 9 to 7, whatever it is, you know your nights are free.
The lifestyle's different.
Yeah, and then with this, it's a lot more challenging because it's like, oh, what are you doing next week? You're like, I'm free, and then it's like, oh no, I got a last minute audition.
Right.
Have you guys dated other creative types?
Yeah.
Do you think that works?
Yeah.
I think it has its positives and its pros and its cons. You know, like I've dated people that are creative types and dated people that are not creative types. And I think people that are in a creative environment are more open to different creative types. So I think that makes it a lot more fun, a little more interesting. But it can also be kind of like this a lot, like when you have people that are chasing after their passions.
Exact same passion.
Yeah. But then there's the other thing where you're dating someone that's not a creative type, and then it's like they sometimes just don't get it.
Yeah.
So I think you just kind of have to find the right fit. I think that dating a creative person can be really awesome.
Yeah.
Because it like really helps you kind of discover your own creativity. And now when I was talking about how I'm kind of a writer, he's pushing me now to kind of get to that place, which is amazing because I never thought I would do something like that when I was going into this.
That's
so.
awesome.
I don't know if it works. I don't know if it can work. I really don't know if I believe that. And
What has your experience been?
I know I'm a little bit. I think I'm a little bit older than everyone else here. And when you start to get towards your 30s and in your 30s, and you start thinking about something more, and if you're both struggling creatives, you can't plan anything. You can't plan like, okay, well, we're gonna have kids, we're gonna have a family, we're gonna do these things, because you don't know when your next paycheck is. And it's very tough. And I just don't know. There's some nice things about it. It kind of comes it becomes very consuming when you have two creative types, because you're so focused on, as you kind of mentioned, like you're kind of always doing something. You're always kind of like working at this thing or whatever. And if you're both doing that, it's almost a struggle to make time to even like see each other, even if you've been together for a while, and not hate each other. Because if one person's career is not going well and your career is doing better, all of a sudden there's a jealousy aspect.
I think that can factor in though with any relationship, not necessarily two creatives.
Sure.
The way I see it is, it doesn't, like, I don't see that someone has to be an actress or a painter, or really even have to be in the entertainment industry to be creative. I think that you can be someone that pushes yourself.
But yeah, like I think that being a creative person definitely makes you second guess getting into a relationship, because there's so many things that are unknown about your future. So it's kind of like, what's the point of starting a relationship?
Right.
But I just think everyone's on a different path, and you just have to decide whether or not you want to take that dive, because it's like it's a struggle. There are definitely some times where, even right now being in the Esper class, like my emotions are very heightened. Like the littlest thing, like the littlest look can be like, what does that mean?
Oh
like,
my
God!
Yes.
And he's like,
I know.
nothing.
Like literally
like,
nothing, and you're like, no, I meant something.
You meant something there. No, so yeah, you just kind of have to take the good with the bad, and I'm very happy with where my relationship is right now, but there have definitely been challenges, and I think there are still challenges to come.
Yeah.
But you just have to decide whether or not it's worth it.
Yeah.
Someone that's passionate
Keeps
keeps
it
me
interesting.
excited, and yes, it could go both ways. Like
But,
passionate. you
but
know.
that's again another point, because I know, for example, people who are like accountant, or they work in banking,
Such as
or
Andrew's
they
dad.
and they are passionate, passionate
Right.
Yeah.
about that.
Totally. Well,
you
I
know.
think that's
Doesn't have to
touching
be
on what he was
creative.
and
saying.
yeah, and again, and I find it very interesting, talking about something else.
But then I've also, every time I've been with like a kind of creative person, I've always wanted to like kind of collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never had that. I've never had that happen. I don't know if anyone's had like, one of my friends I know like used to have a show in DC or Baltimore or something like that with his girlfriend for like 10 years, and they would like perform together, and it sounded like the perfect relationship. Like,
Yeah.
I would love
It's
that.
awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I've just never had anything like that. And every time I get in a relationship with someone creative, I think that's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know what it is that it doesn't. And I think because you're so concerned about yourself that it's kind of hard to even take a step back and like try to work on something together.
If you can take
Yeah.
your talents and collaborate and make it productive, that's like something that's so super special.
My boyfriend has a theater company, and I've worked with him a couple times, and it definitely has its ups and downs because there's like, because you know the person you're in a relationship with so well, like you can get a little kind of like this. I
Yeah.
feel like sometimes, but the rewards of it I feel like are so much greater. But backtracking a little bit to what you were talking about, how like you don't like talking about like acting. I once was like it wasn't even a relationship thing. I was meeting just in a group of people that some of them were performers, some of them were artists, some of them were just like have 9-to-5 jobs that they're also really passionate about. But someone asked me like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I'm an actor. And they're like, why do you say it like that? And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, why do you, like, you almost kind of apologized as you were saying it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't even realize that I was doing it, because you get into this habit of kind of like feeling like it's not like socially acceptable to be an actor, to be a creative person, because there's like, it's such an unsure life, and like you don't really, and sometimes like if you don't have a job, you feel like nothing really worth talking about. But like
But
I
you know what the next questions are, like, oh, what are you in?
Huh.
What have I
Oh,
seen?
I know,
you in?
but like
What do you do? And then if you don't have any answers to that, then like, are you actually an actor?
yeah,
So
but I feel
annoying,
like it's easy to, but I feel like you have to kind of get out of that mentality and just be
Yeah,
like, and
you
say it
do.
proudly, like I'm an
Right.
artist, I'm an actor, I'm a singer, whatever it is that you're doing.
Because you don't judge a finance person if they're not in Forbes 30 under 30.
Yeah,
like,
like-
just because I don't know you, like it doesn't matter. No one asks that about anything else.
Yeah.
Just
so
give
so
us an
there,
example. of
there's a girl I dated for a long time,
Mhm.
and
how long?
2.5 years, and actress, same thing, and it kind of just like she wanted to work on a career, and I think that her career was always kind of first, and that was the thing that kind of bothered me, and I don't necessarily need to be first ever, but I think I need to be like some sort of priority in some sense.
Of course.
And I don't know, it never felt like that.
Could you not relate though in terms of you putting your career first?
Yeah, but I also, I think I was the more established one, and that just meant I had more money, and that meant I could do more things, and that meant I could go out to dinner, and I could pay for dinner, and it just didn't happen both ways necessarily, and I think that bothered her a lot. And I don't know. And I've been on the other end where I've been with people who've been so much more successful than me, and it's really, and I think more than any other. I mean, I guess every job, like you know, there's going to be, in theory, like someone's more successful than the other person. But especially this, where you really don't. You don't know where it's going. I don't know where my career's going. I wrote a book. I have an 84,000 word book I'm pitching to agents right now. I don't know what's going to happen to it. So how can I go to someone and be like, hey, I'm this guy, I have a book, I don't know, maybe I'm going to be like a super great famous author guy, or maybe no one will ever, maybe nothing will happen to it. And I find myself like in this like limbo area all the time in my life. And there needs, and it's, when do I stop? When do I stop doing that in order to like have a life? And it's priorities. I don't know what my priorities are anymore. I'm kind of lost. lost right now, guys. If you
It's
can't
okay.
tell.
Well,
That's why
I
we're
think
all-
your priorities will change in the stages of life you make.
But like that's another thing. Like I like when people tell me that like I sometimes if they can't believe that I'm an actor, I can't believe you sit at a desk all day.
Right.
Like, I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you do that?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just but we're on different paths and it's okay. Like
Mhm.
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like it's like a lot. That's why a lot of artists surround themselves with a lot of artists because I
Right.
feel like there's a certain vulnerability that artists understand, and like that's the reason why that you create friendships that are I feel like are on a very deep level. Like
Mhm.
that's just and why you're constantly with other people that are like that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you so much for joining Creatives
Yeah.
on Couches
Bianca and
today.
the boys today.
Boys.